First of all, I'd like to thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to present my discussion on this topic. My topic for today is Barrier in Early Detection of Carcinoma Cervix in India, a Public Health Perspective. My talk will focus on why early detection of cervical cancer is so important for us. How do we do early detection, or how do we screen the patients? What are the barriers of screening in India, and how can we overcome these barriers? We all know cancer cervix is a big problem all over the world. It is the third most common cancer in the world, with 2.3 million prevalent cases and 5,10,000 incident cases per year. 2,88,000 women die of this cancer every year worldwide, and 80% of these deaths occur in low resource countries. As we see, more than 80% of the tumor load is in developing world. More than 80% of the load is in developing world, and we are here. Age standardized rate is approximately 27 per 100,000 cases in India. As you can see, that's also one of the higher incidence cases. 1/5 of the world's total cases occur in India, and 1/3 of the total deaths are in India. Peak incidence of cervical cancer in India is in females 55 to 64 years, which is the same as in rest of the Southeast Asian countries. The problem is that most of these cases present to us in advanced case, and these are mostly present in low socioeconomic status people or in rural areas. Age standardized rate in India is approximately 27, and as you can see, cervical cancer is the most common cancer in females in India. Breast cancer comes in the second position, and in metros like Delhi, Mumbai, breast cancer is soon overtaking cervical cancer. But in most of the parts of the country, especially rural areas, cervical cancer is the main problem. This is the Globocon data of 2008. You can see 1,34,000 cases per year, and with the mortality of more than 70,000 cases per year. All these figures tell us just one thing, that cervical cancer is a big problem in India. Cervical cancer has one unique characteristic. It is a slowly progressing cancer which goes from a normal cervix to a pre-cancer stage to a cancer stage, approximately over a period of 10 to 15 years. This is the golden period which we get to detect the cancer cervix in pre-cancer as well as in early cancer stages. And that is the most important characteristic of this cancer, which can help us in bringing down the incidence of this disease. We see from a normal cervix, after HPV infection, it develops into low-grade lesions, high-grade, and then invasive cancer. This is the time. Cervix is easily amenable to inspection and to treatment. This is the time when we do early detection, we can treat and detect these cases and decrease the incidence of cancer cervix. As even when invasive cancer occurs, as the stage progresses, the 5-year survival rate decrease. As we can see in early stages, even we can detect cases here, 5-year survival is approximately 80 to 90%, and it keeps on decreasing as the stage progress. Now, what is screening? Screening is detecting in a pre-cancer stage. A good screening in a population can decrease incidence and mortality by 50 to 70%. Screening can be population-based screening or opportunistic screening. Population-based is when we go and screen general population, and opportunistic is when the patients come to us in the hospital for other matters like in ANC clinics or with some other problems, and that is the time we use to screen them by various methods. Now we see in developing countries, the cervical cancer incidence is gradually progressing, whereas in India, there is some progression, but that is slow and small. This is mainly because of the screening methods which are available. They have a strict screening guidelines, and they are strictly followed, which help in bringing down the incidence of cervical cancer. Various countries like in UK and in USA, there are strict guidelines which are there, like patients are monitored every 3 to 5 years, and there's regular follow-up is done. In India, there has been no such guidelines till now. In 2005-2006, in PGI Chandigarh, there was NCCP guidelines were formed, during which it was decided that all women will be screened in the age group of 30 to 59 years with visual inspection at primary health centers, followed by a single visit approach for further investigations and treatment at the district hospitals. Now, how regularly do we need to screen? It has been seen by various studies that if you do an annual or a 2-yearly screening, the reduction in cancer incidence is approximately 92 to 93%. And if you do 5-yearly and 10-yearly screening, the incidence the reduction is not so much, but it is definitely there. So, looking at the low-resource countries in a developing world, the WHO has come out with recommendations that all women should be screened at least once in their lifetime after 40 years of age. So, in India, what we are recommended nowadays is to screen all the women in 35 to 49 years of age group at least once. Now, coming to the main thing, what are the barriers of screening in India? We can divide the barriers into individual barriers or system barriers. The individual barriers, patients do not know anything about the disease. Most of the women in India are illiterate. They lack knowledge about the nature of the disease, about the causative factors about the disease, about the natural history of the disease, how they can prevent themselves from this disease. Most of them believe they are not at risk. We have this thing, oh, mujhe to kabhi nahi ho sakta. So they do not go for checkups. They are not aware about the screening services available to them, about the center, about the nearby hospitals, about the nearby clinics where they can go and get simple tests like visual inspection or a pap smear. Secondly, a lot of females in India do not have a proper family support. Their husbands, their families look down upon women's health. So they are not ready to go for women's checkup. Moreover, a lot of women feel that it is a very embarrassing test. They are not aware about the procedure of this test. They think it is a very painful and embarrassing test, and in most of these centers there are male doctors. They do not want to go and get a pap smear done for them. And even if once a problem is diagnosed with these people, they do not want to go for follow-up. They think, oh, nothing will happen, I'll get more sick. There are a lot of social barricades to accepting the treatment. Hence, they do not go for follow-up of their problem. Secondly, there are system barriers. We do not have sufficient health infrastructure to provide these facilities. In developing countries, there are other competing health needs, like there are communicable diseases for which a lot of our funds are transferred for malaria, tuberculosis, and less funds are transferred for cancer preventions. There are lack of trained staff and infrastructure in the hospitals. And even if they are there, the staff does not know themselves about the procedure of how we can prevent cancer. There are poor quality of services. Patients have to stand in line for hours and hours to get a simple examination done. And these always dissuade people from going back to the hospital. 80% of the population resides in rural areas, and that is where our less health services are available. In urban areas, the health services are mostly concentrated, but again, there are both private and public health sector. Private health sector is costly and public health sector is so overcrowded that people do not want to go and stand there in queues for examination. In India, we also have another thing called quacks. People are more interested in alternative medicine, quacks, and other therapies and do not want to go to a doctor for having a treatment. Then another important thing is the nature of the screening tests. The nature of the screening test. These screening tests, they themselves are associated with so many problems, like a pap smear. Pap smear requires a lot of infrastructure, trained staff, cost of the test, and cost of transferring the material to the lab, a trained lab, then coming back of the report. All these things are barriers in the follow-up of the treatment. How do we cross these barriers? The most important thing, we have to provide clinics at doorsteps. We have to give them health services close to their houses. We have to bring knowledge to these people that yes, your health service is available to you, it is close to you, and we have to tell them these are low cost services and they can be given to you, and we have to make the clinics, make the hospitals easily accessible to the patients. We have to have Anganwadi workers, low level health workers who go to these houses, train the people, tell the people about their problems, how we can overcome these problems, and listen to them. We have to improve the quality of the services. The more hospitals there, trained staff is there, female doctors should be available so that females can come and talk to their physicians and discuss their problems. As I said, there are screening modalities which have a lot of problems, and they have to be amended. Pap smear, which has been recommended by WHO, is internationally accepted as a standard modality for screening. In India, which is a low resource setting, other methods are available which we can use, which do not require so many cost and infrastructure. These are unaided visual inspection with acetic acid, where we apply 3 to 5% acetic acid and identify the abnormal cervix area, and which can be further treated. These are simple tests. They can be done by trained nurses, even trained health workers. Then there is visual inspection with acetic acid with magnification using a magnifier, and visual inspection using Lugol's iodine. Another test is HPV test, although which is not commonly available at the grassroots level, but it's still coming up as a good screening modality. Excuse me. As I told you, all these tests have their own limitations. Sensitivity of Pap smear varies from 55 to 80% and specificity is 95 to 98%. It is a costly test, requires strict quality control, and it is a large infrastructure is required for this. Visual inspection acetic acid again has a wide variety of sensitivity depending upon the severity of the disease and the trained person who is doing the test. It is a low cost test, does not require any big technology, and after small training, nurses can do this test. Again, same with villi and HPV test, which is again a very good test, but it is a costly test and it requires a strong lab for it. Now, how do we cross these barriers? We have to improve our healthcare system. The mobile clinics, which were which was done in Osmanabad, they help us in taking the clinic at the doorstep. So patients came forward. They said, yes, we want to get checkup. And the cancer incidence rate definitely has gone down in these areas. We have to provide adequate staff at these clinics. And another method is to increase the incidence. We have to give see and treat policy. Whenever the patient comes to us, we do the inspection, we analyze, and we see this is the abnormal area, we treat in the same sitting. Screening, diagnosis, treatment on the same site. For this, procedures like LEAP excision has been done. After doing a VIA, we do a LEAP excision so that the treatment, we might be doing over treatment, but we definitely do not underdiagnose the case. This is a complicated thing, but this is what the NCCP guidelines have come up with, that the community level, the population is targeted by Anganwadi workers, and the females are identified who need to undergo screening. They are referred to a primary health center where twice a week visual inspection with acetic acid is done, and from these, all the abnormal areas are picked and the patients are sent to the district hospital where LEAP colposcopy directed biopsy, cryotherapy or LEAP is done by a trained doctors, and all the cases where invasive cancer is diagnosed are referred to the regional cancer centers or the medical colleges. The other cost issue, the other barrier, cost issue. In India, we see the total expenditure is 166% of the GDP. And in countries like United Kingdom, with their high expenditure on the illness, population per physician, look at United Kingdom. United Kingdom, where the rank of cervical cancer is 11th, and in India it is first. So we need to spend more on our health and more on cancer prevention. The cost for Pap smear in private hospitals is approximately 300 rupees, although it is free in government centers, but again, 80% of the Pap smears which are being done in India are being done from private centers. So we need to provide them free treatment, free cost, and free screening. We have to provide information to the people about the disease, about the nature of the disease, how they can prevent the disease. This can be done by various awareness camps, This can be done by using electronic media, by various health walks, by giving them brochures or flyers, which should be published in the local language. English, Hindi, plus the local language. We have to give information to these people that, yes, these are the symptoms and how you can prevent them. We all know about Jane Goody, who died in 2009, a celebrity who comes up with the problem and explains it to the public, gives us encouragement to the public, yes, if they face it, they can go ahead for treatment, and yes, there is solution for it. We have to give them a psychosocial support. We have to involve community leaders, religious leaders, educate the partner, and provide self-testing devices are coming up, which can help the patient by they can do their test at home, and if required, they can go to the hospital. Most important, we have to educate the females. Literacy is the most important factor behind bringing down the cause. So, in the end, I'd like to take home messages. Cancer cervix is preventable. Information and education are keys for early detection, and low-cost tests and improved health infrastructure can help us in bringing down this disease. Thank you.
On such informative talk, I just wanted to add on, I was privileged enough to be in IARC, that is International Agency for Cancer Research, and I had worked there with Dr. Rangaswamy. He had many publications regarding how to do screening in low resource country like India, and even I had a publication with him. And we have found that this cytological screening or PAP screening is not effective for Indian scenario. And we should have some alternate screening methods. So for India, VIA, that is visual inspection acetic acid, followed by cryo, is the method of choice. And for this screening to be effective, at least 80% of the target population should be taken up. And the age group he has recommended is 30 to 40 years. And this is screen and treat approach. The main problem in India is, first of all, you're not able to reach to the patients. Once you reach, they don't come for follow-up. So you see, by putting up acetic acid and you treat it with cryo, you may be over-treating, but at least you will be reducing the incidence of cancer cervix. And the other thing he has recommended is he's carried out a project in South India where he did HPV testing, and he found 50% reduction in cancer incidence following HPV tests. So now newer tests are coming up, especially the CARE HPV. This has been already licensed in China, and in India it will be soon coming up. This test is cheap and can be done at periphery level. The results come in 2.5 hours, and you do the test and you treat. And there is no need for colposcopy. Once you send the patient for colposcopy to district level, they will never come up. So the main approach for India is 80% coverage, and he recommends one-time treatment with this VIA plus cryo will reduce the incidence by 25% and mortality by 35% once in a lifetime. And if he can manage HPV tests, then it will reduce to almost 50%. That is the ideal for Indian scenario. Thanks a lot.